It was Friday evening, and I'd somehow survived another long, tiring week as a teacher. It didn't take long for me to realise I was craving this, and this, and this. My destination this time would be the Howgill Fells up in the northwestern Yorkshire Dales, but they're over 200 miles away, so early on Saturday I took the long drive north up the A1 before crossing the Pennines into Cumbria. As that sun shone, so the hills got more pronounced until I was parked up and ready to head off into unknown territory. I tell you, it didn't take long for busy life to seem almost a million miles away, just what was needed. And yeah, the Howgill Fells seemed to almost welcome me with open arms. It wasn't long until I was descending towards the stunning Carlingill Beck. That 110 you can see was the only sign of life I'd see for the next 18 hours or so. Bliss. And so, it is a very good afternoon from the Howgill Fells. What an amazing afternoon it is. Blessed again, don't want to speak too soon. Fingers crossed, it stays like this for the rest of the evening. But as great as they are, I'm not going to complain about them. But yeah, traipsing uphill is hard work and hot work. Because yeah, the sun's out and there's hardly any breeze. So you guessed it, I mean, we're not in Scotland, but there are some midges already lurking around. I'm just hoping when the sun goes down later, it doesn't end up being a midge fest. I experienced that when I was back up in Scotland a few weeks ago, and it was hellish. And I've heard some pretty bad stories up here as well. But yeah, fingers crossed, I'll have the tent up and I'll be safe by then. As you can see, I've been following Carlingill, I think this is, and actually I've got an amazing view in front of me. Actually, I've got another sort of stream feeding into this one. So let me show you actually what I can see. So yeah, what you can see behind me, that is the direction I'm heading in, and I'm really looking forward to what's around the bend. Can't see it at the moment, but yeah, I've seen photos, I've read about it online, and it looks amazing. Apparently it's one of the highlights of the Howgills, which I haven't yet explored. But this is where the path on the OS map just vanishes. So I've got no idea how hard it's going to be. We've got plenty of time, so let's crack on. So as I headed deeper into the narrow valley, so you can see that the path, it continued, but it was pretty sketchy in places with those big old drops off to the right. Got to say, I was pleased it was a dry day, and I'm not sure I want to attempt it if it was wet, a bit more slippery. So yeah, one to note, if you plan to do this in the autumn or winter, make sure you're properly prepared. But yeah, on such a warm day, the sound of the water in the beck was just what was needed. You know, the sheep were out, they were enjoying it as well as you can hear. But yeah, it was sheltered from the wind and it was warm. So it was quite a bit of a relief actually to finally catch sight of the first place I was aiming for. It looked amazing. So yep, you can hear water, and this is what I've come for. Check out this waterfall. Look how clear that water is. Beautiful plunge pool, a geographer's dream, I've got to say. But you're probably watching this thinking, Dan, yeah, it's nice, you know, sun's out, lovely place to have a dip, but I've seen it before, you know, and you'd be right. There are waterfalls like this all over the country. But I was telling you a bit of a fib. This is what I've really come for. Check this out. Welcome to Black Force. This is one of several pretty dramatic waterfalls in the Howgill Fells. This is not the biggest. I mean, this is still really impressive. The biggest, though, is called Courtley Spout, and that's on the other side of the fells. And that one, it's got a series of drops, but altogether, from top to bottom, it drops about 700 feet. I mean, this one's not quite as high, but it's still every bit as dramatic. And there's not even that much water, like in the burn, or sorry, the gill. You know, if there was more, it'd be even more dramatic than this. What a spot. And as you'd expect, in this part of the Howgills, there's no one around. Got it all for myself. I will say as well, actually, I mean, I found this online, sort of in photos, but there's a guy I follow on YouTube, brilliant guy called Chris JB. If you're watching this, Chris, hope you're doing well. And I know this is a part of the world that you know very, very well indeed. Other than the farmers that farm these fells, I don't think there's anybody who knows these fells better than him. And yeah, I think he did this route actually. I don't know how long ago it was, but he spoke about taking a grassy arete, which I think goes up in that direction there. Hopefully I've got it right. Pretty steep, but it's gonna, I've done these sorts of things before, so I think that's the route I'm gonna take. And he did mention about filling up the bottles at the top as well, so we'll do it there. So, me versus gravity, let's do it. As you can hear, I'm blowing out my bottom, but I love it. This is what I do in fun. Burn in the legs and the burn in the lungs as well. I've always loved it, and I think I always will. As long as my body allows me to do it, I'll be out here doing things like this. And the thing is, just look what I've achieved. There's the gill that I was at earlier, and it just shows how high I've climbed already. In the space of about 20 minutes. Incredible. And it's not over. Let me spin it around and show you what I've got to actually tackle next. Oh, it's flattened off. Thank God. And yeah, I've reached. I wouldn't really call it a ridge, but you've got this path here. It's not particularly wide. And yeah, I mean that side, other than my shadow down there, it's not a particularly big drop. But yeah, if you lost your footing and went the other way, let me show the drop down there. There's the gill. Pretty much at the top of the waterfall now. Wow, I'm going to keep my eyes on the ground. But yeah, this is amazing. Absolutely cracking walk already. Really loving it, and of course the conditions just make it all the better. Right, keep pushing on. Oh, we're still going up. I'm sure you're just sitting in a nice comfortable chair at home, enjoying that view behind. And I'll be honest, I keep wanting to turn around and admire it myself, but we'll wait until we get to the very top before I turn around and really enjoy all of the climbing I've done to earn that view. But yeah, one thing I'll add, I mean, I know, spinning it around, I know these all look like hills, but they're actually mountains. As a bit of a geography geek, with a geography degree, I'm pretty sure, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty sure that any bit of land in the UK that's above 600 metres is considered a mountain. And yeah, there's several high points in the Howgill Fells which top out at over that. So yeah, where I'm heading is one of those. I'll give you the exact height and the name once I've got my hands on the summit again. Oh, not too much further, and I can see another fine view opening up in front. Oh, all this climbing is so worth it. Wow. So this is a good feeling. I've reached the highest ground, and as you'd expect in the Howgill Fells, even with it being a Saturday even, right at the start of September, and with amazing conditions like this, I have not seen, other than that tent right back at the start, I've not seen a single other person. Sort of hardy sheep are my only companions for this evening, and that is the way I reckon it's likely to continue, which is what I came here for. I'd expect nothing else in this part of the world. But yeah, where I'm currently standing doesn't have a name. I'm about 630 metres up. Sort of the summit behind me, just there, that also doesn't have a name. But that one there does. That is called Fell Head, and it's 623 metres. And I'm just weighing up actually which of these places to camp at, because where I'm stood, there's some fairly long grass, and I don't fancy getting eaten alive by ticks or anything else like that. Back over at Fell Head, although the views weren't quite as amazing, the grass was brilliant. So yeah, I'm going to weigh that one up. But while I'm doing that, I think I've got to just stop, cue the dramatic music, and just show you the amazing 360 view. Check this out. bad, eh? Right, let's get this tent up before I get eaten alive by the evil images. There you go, tent all pitched, and it was a pretty easy one tonight. Apart from the usual faffing with the guy ropes, it doesn't matter what I do. You know, when I pack the tents away, I always try to tie them up so they're easy to get out the next time. But no matter what I do, it still ends up being an absolute ball ache. So if you've got any tips, you know, I'd really appreciate it, because, you know, it wasn't too bad tonight. But if it was piddling down or really cold and my hands were going numb, I'd be cursing it. So yeah, much appreciated. But yeah, I bought the 2-man tent tonight, the Jackal 2, instead of the Bobcat. If you've seen any of my recent videos, especially those in Scotland, yeah, I bought that up there, and it's been a brilliant tent for sort of multi-day trips, but there's hardly any room in the Bobcat. Even with it being a bargain at 59 quid, it just, yeah, if you want to sort of, you're going to be in the tent for many, many hours, it's not great. So I bought this long instead. Really, really good tent. I've had it for 2 years, and it's never set a foot wrong. So yeah, I can cook in there if I need to, if the midges really come out in force. But yeah, let me stop rambling on. I'm going to show you the view looking west now towards the lakes. It is beautiful. Well, it's a dinner well earned tonight. Vegetable curry. I always go, it's my go-to meal when I'm just out for the night. It's like proper comfort food, isn't it? All that's missing are the poppadoms. And I've got a Brewdog Lost beer. It's not as strong as the usual beers that I have from them. You know, usually they're sort of 6-7%, which goes down really well. This one's only 4.5, but it's still going down extremely easily. You know, it's definitely been earned. So cheers. I don't know if it's just me, but I can't come out for camps like this without a beer or two. I've got another one actually to enjoy afterwards. I've got to say, it's just so quiet up here. There's hardly any breeze, but despite that, there's hardly any midges, which I'm not. Yeah, that's great. I wasn't sure what to expect, to be honest. So yeah, I've not had a repeat of Scotland as of yet. Hopefully it'll stay that way. And all I can see actually is sort of a ribbon of lights on the M6. I can hear the faint hum. But yeah, there's also a flashing light, so someone's had a bit of bad luck tonight, and they're obviously broken down. Hopefully they'll be rescued soon. But the best thing is just the view out west, you know, back towards the Lake District. The sky now is just burning red. I'm sure Jesus must be around somewhere. So actually, I keep saying it, but yeah, just check out what I can see. So, been enjoying a good book, and yeah, wee drum of whiskey. I've come out just to clean my teeth and to go to the loo, and yeah, been treated to this full moon pretty much. Yeah, you probably can't make it out on the film, but it is illuminating sort of all of the fells. I can make them all out. No lights out there at all, looking into the Howgills. But if I look west, I keep saying that in this video. If I keep looking west, this time look, I can see. I love this. You know, it's great being somewhere as wild and empty as the Howgill Fells, but yet you've got all of these sort of comforting lights of civilization below. Sort of make out a train line there. See the green light change to red, and then back again. And I do love the lights on the motorway as well. It's been quite nice watching those just go backwards and forwards as I've been chilling in the tent. Anyway, talking of chilling, it's pretty chilly out here. So I'm going to call it a night. It's just after 10. Yeah, get in the sleeping bag. Hopefully sleep well. I'll see you in the morning. Night night. Good morning. Well, I must say, one slept very, very well last night indeed. Hardly woke. I think I woke up once. That was it. But I didn't have to get up for the loo, and that's because I didn't drink much water last night. I try and do that on purpose these days because, yeah, very nearly 40 years of age. So at this age, yeah, the bladder's not as strong as it once was. But yeah, I woke up with a bit of a headache, so I had to neck loads of water. But I've got some boiling now, as you can see, with the steam. Looking forward actually to some food. I'm pretty hungry this morning. So I'm going to start with some chocolate orange flavoured porridge. Probably loads of sugar in it, but I don't really care. It's going to taste really good. That's the main thing. Obviously coffee. Kind of can't start a day these days without coffee. And then I've got some beans and some bread to mop up all the sauce. Oh, that's going to be good, isn't it? After that, we'll pack up and then we'll head downhill. Hopefully leave the clouds behind, back towards the car. Well, I am loving these conditions. It's just amazing when the clouds come down like this. It completely changes the landscape. It's almost like I'm somewhere completely different. And yeah, that sort of warm, inviting, sunny place I was in yesterday just feels sort of mysterious, empty, and sort of a little bit spooky today. It's just brilliant. The great thing is, I'm sure, like, you know, as you sort of lose the sight of sort of where you are, your other senses are sort of heightened. So there's a gill that I'm sort of dropping down towards, and I can't see it at the moment. I can just hear it. I can hear like the waterfalls and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of just a case of following the GPS and following my nose. Maybe I'll drop out of the cloud eventually. And so my adventure in the Howgill Fells is coming to an end. You can probably see that path snaking off downhill, all downhill to the car, just over a kilometre to go. There's the hum of the M6, just in view now. And yeah, I'll normally finish these videos with my mush in the shot, but you know, I've just dropped below the cloud base and it's so beautiful that I thought I'd show you this instead. I'm hoping you've enjoyed the video and I've done the Howgill Fells justice. They are a beautiful part of the country, I'm sure you would agree. And I highly recommend a visit. Anyway, if you're still watching, thanks for watching, as I always say. And yeah, don't forget to click like and subscribe if you haven't done already. It's always much appreciated. It goes a long way in supporting the channel. And of course, if you're out there suiting yourself, take care. Most important of all, live it up and enjoy the wild.